Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. Funniest thing, when we're talking with Doug Koenig a while ago. Now, Doug is high-speed, low-drag, wins everything. He's won all the world championships, pistols, and he shoots long-range rifles and all. I said, so what's the coolest thing that Ruger's got? He says, oh, man, it's got to be the Marlins. Eric Lundgren joins us right now from Ruger Marlin. But it was really funny when I asked Doug, you know, what are you excited about? He says, oh, the Marlins, man.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, thanks for having me, Tom.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, you might just do kind of a quick recap of Ruger bought Marlin when it came out of the whole Remington bankruptcy thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's been more than a year ago now.
Yeah, that was the fall of 2020.
Fall of 2020?
Right.
Wow, okay.
So I think the deal was completely done in November. Okay. And we started moving stuff the next week from Ilion and Huntsville.
I heard a store that was like more than 118 wheelers.
It was 150 something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, it was a long, and it was an ordeal to get them out. We were trying to get them out before the snow started because they were logistically getting things out of that plant was a little difficult around the backside of one of the buildings, and we're like, if it snows, we're going to have we're going to be here for a while. So everybody was working around the clock. The team that went up from Ruger spent I don't know, they went probably a month up there, and they came back on a couple weekends and that type of thing. But it was a big deal.
Wow. So you got this conga line of trucks going down, and people say, well, this would be great. You know, give me 6 to 8 weeks, and we'll have this thing running.
Yeah, plug them in.
Plug
them in, turn them on, you're ready to go, right?
Didn't work out that way.
No, it wasn't anything like that. I think what we had to do was we knew kind of what we were getting, okay, but we didn't have an opportunity to go in and fully do a diagnostic on every machine that we bought. So we basically put them on the trucks, right, and brought them down and said, okay, what do we got?
Now you find out what you have. I was explaining to somebody, I said, look, the thing that happened here is that when Marlin was first starting, when they were making guns way back, machines were cheap and people were expensive.
Yeah.
Is that right? No, other way around. People were cheap, machines were expensive. So you could have somebody at the end of the line with a file and polishing. And so that's how you got things to fit.
Right.
It's because you had somebody doing that. But now, interchangeable parts, not quite so much. Right. And so now people are more expensive. Mm-hmm. And not that machines are cheap, but with CNC, it's kind of like, okay, so you really almost had to recreate the manufacturing process for them.
Yeah, you know what, Tom, that was probably one of the hardest things, because this gun wasn't designed, when it was designed, wasn't designed for lean manufacturing and CNC machines and
designed for people with files.
Yeah, exactly. And so you try to fit a square peg in a round hole, and I think we've done a really great job doing that.
Oh, the rifles are fabulous. I mean, the fit and finish is unbelievable.
Yeah,
frankly better than it's ever been.
Yeah, and you know, it has been a lot of hard work. It's been fun and stressful and all that stuff. I think the engineering team has done so much work to try to get that gun to fit into the way Ruger does its manufacturing. And really that's really been one of the biggest challenges was you know, how do you make an old design into fit it into new manufacturing?
Right. And the first one out was the SBL. It's the stainless big loop.
Mm-hmm.
And threaded barrel. I mean, it's just cool, and it works great, and it shoots, you know, it's accurate, and just fun. 4570,
right?
For those who don't know.
Yeah, so we've done a couple things to that gun that have improved it a lot. One, and I think that people are going to see a lot more of the Marlins threaded. I mean, it just makes sense.
Sure.
Particularly on a 4570, where you can put a muzzle brake on it, and so many more people are shooting with silencers.
Right.
So we're going to have a lot of offerings that are going to fit that. But the one thing for traditionalists that we are doing is we're match polishing that that
From
thread
about
protector.
4 feet away, you can't tell it's threaded.
I know.
It just fits so well.
It's it because when we first started talking about doing some of the more classic guns, walnut blued, are we going to thread these? And I said, well, what is it going to look like on the end? And when we looked at them, we're like, yeah, we got to thread these, just because you'll never see it.
All right, so I mean, the first one was SBL, and that wasn't that many months ago, and now you got the Trapper out,
right.
Shorter barrel.
Shorter barrel, 16.17 or something like that.
Just that way, you're good on a cold day.
yeah, that's right. You're good on a cold day.
Still legal. Okay, good deal. Short, lighter.
Yep, it's a little bit lighter. They're both right around 7.2, 7.1.
I don't want it too light. 4570's got some push.
It does it's a thumper.
Yeah, it is, which makes it fun. You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, are they out? I mean, the SBL has been out.
Yeah, it came out and said we released
not in the numbers you'd like to have.
Yeah.
How's the Trapper doing? Is it out
the Trapper's helping the SBL. I mean, I think they help each other. I think the more you get, more different models that you get out, you can schedule production and stay at a steady rate. And I think when you're just focusing on one model, which is what we were doing when the SBL came out,
right?
I think when you have a problem, it's somewhere with that gun, you're basically shutting down until you fix the problem.
Okay.
The more models you get out, the more you have ability to maneuver and keep your daily rate up. So I think what our customers and our consumer is going to see is more guns coming out and them not being as scarce as they've been for the past few months.
And demand for lever actions is like kind of crazy. We were talking to the break. It's like, Henry has done such a great job of acclimating the public to lever actions. And then you guys come along with this, and you don't have to sell the concept of lever actions.
Right.
It's like people are ready for them.
Yeah.
You just, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ruger, Marlin, I want that thing.
Yeah, I think over the past few years, you've seen the resurgence is. I think there are several reasons. One of them is that you're seeing people get more functionality out of them using. I know some of the aftermarket companies are putting different kind of rails on the front.
Oh, sure.
Hand guards and
some pretty interesting ammo available for them now.
Yeah. Particularly
the Lever Evolution ammo from Hornady, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell you what I want to do. I want to run to the break here. When I come back, I want to talk about, all right, like everybody always says, that's great. We got this brand new thing you just announced 10 minutes ago. So what's next, right? There's always what's next. So we'll do that. We'll talk with Eric Lundgren from Ruger, Marlin. We'll talk about that in just a sec. We're at the NRA's annual meetings here. And yes, everything's actually been pretty fine here. The quick story is, no, Wayne LaPierre's not going anywhere. No, the board's not going to remove him. Alan West is not going to take over. You kind of knew that was going to happen, so it's not even worth a whole lot of discussion on that. Hey, we'll be right back with more news about Ruger and Marlin from the NRA's annual meeting. You want to get a gun gal or a gun guy excited, somebody that really likes guns, you show them a really cool lever action. We're talking with Eric Lundgren from Ruger and Marlin, talking about what you've been doing with the SBL, got the Trapper, and then, of course, everybody that walks up in the booth here says, okay, so what's next, and what are you going to do for me now, right?
Yeah. When are you going to do this gun?
Yes, my favorite gun.
Why did you start with that gun?
Yes, that's right. I wanted the such and such. Okay, I wanted the 327, whatever it is. Okay. So, all right, you got a list.
Yeah.
You got a timeline, and I'm not holding you to any kind of timeline, but just what are we looking at? What are you guys going to be doing?
Well, if you look at the 95 platform, that platform and a 336 are very, very similar.
Okay.
Those things, both of those platforms can be machined on the same line and assembled on the same line and use many of the same fixtures.
Okay, 336 is your 30-30.
Yeah, that's the 30-30 and the 35 Remington.
Cool.
So I think it is no secret that it makes most sense. That's probably next.
Okay.
Or not probably. That's next.
Within a year, maybe?
Oh yeah, most certainly.
Oh.
I think we're looking at a much shorter period of time.
Okay.
I mean, we are really working hard to get guns into the market time for hunting season.
Oh.
And so I think you'll start to see some blue guns and some of the traditional walnut guns.
Oh, fun.
But we're I think you're going to see some new and interesting things that you've never seen before from Marlin.
Really?
So, yeah. And then after that, the 94s, the pistol caliber guns, are made on a different line. We do have some common machinery for parts, but they're primarily on another machining and a completely separate assembly line.
Okay.
And those are a little bit further down the line. We're not really even sure. We've done a lot of work on the engineering side, doing tolerance stacks and
Right.
and that type of thing. So if I had to guess, and don't hold me to it, it's probably the end of the year, maybe
Really?
Q1 or maybe before
the end of this year.
Well, okay. Are you giving me more time? We'll take as much as you'll give us, but
honestly, if we could get it within a year from now, we'd be happy.
Well, I mean, it could end up being that, but I think our goal is to get it done as quickly as possible. But we want to do it right. I mean, the quality has to be there.
Well, and I want to give you time to talk about that. What's going on with the quality right now? How you get there?
Well, there were a number of things that over the past years have developed that consumers were fairly vocal about. We wanted to focus on first. Like what do we need to look at first, and things like canted sights and feeding issues and that type of thing. So part of that was our engineering team, the design engineers, did the analysis of the parts and did the tolerance stacks, and we're able to see that. Sometimes when all the parts were made to spec in the past, the gun didn't work right. We spent all our time making sure that those parts, no matter how they were made, they worked right every time. So that, and now it's cosmetics, man. Yeah. We have to. We have 3 people that look over every single gun, and little tiny scratches, little gaps here and there. We're making sure all those things are fixed. The quality control is very high there.
Very cool. I'm really looking forward to the next line of the fully semi-automatic lever actions that you guys are making.
That's a little blue sky project.
There you go. That's right. We'll work on that. That's somewhere down the line. Very good. Eric, thank you so much.
You are most welcome, Tom. I'm happy to be here and talk to you.
Just a pleasure, a real pleasure. We're so excited about what Ruger's doing with Marlin.
I know, we are too.
Very cool stuff. Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, we are going to have to wrap this thing up. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tom Gresham. Check us out, guntalk.com. Be safe. Go out and do a little bit more shooting this week.